All right, hello everybody. We are live from Montana here on a Monday night for a change. We thought we would switch it up a little bit because of somebody wasn't around yesterday.
It would be me.
We have to work around someone's schedule, and that's what we're doing. So anyway, we're going to talk about a few things tonight that you may not know about Montana, kind of recap the year around here. And as usual, if you guys have any questions, feel free to fire away. We will answer them in a timely manner. And I'll put this up on the bottom if you guys want. If anybody's looking for a link to our MLS site and wants to check out our market and check out how much things cost around Western Montana, just follow the instructions below and we will get you hooked up. So, Hillary, why don't you tell us why we're doing it on Monday night?
So this weekend, my boyfriend and I went to Idaho to the Goldbug Hot Springs. If anybody has heard of them, they're right outside of Salmon, and they were amazing. I would definitely recommend going if you ever get the chance. They were still fairly busy this time of year, which we were kind of hoping that since it's mid-December, late December at this point, it wouldn't be, but there were still a lot of people there, but we got there early enough to where we avoided the crowd. So that was great. And then we also hit the Lost Trail ski area on our way back. That's right on the border of Montana and Idaho. And so that was very fun. But the most exciting part was that I got engaged.
So, it's not your boyfriend you went with anymore.
Exactly. Now my fiance. I went with my boyfriend, came back with my fiance. So that is where I was. I was hoping to get back by 5 last night, but we decided to stop and ski. And so that did not work out. But we made it home and here we are.
So, you guys also went by the site of your video on the Yellowstone Ranch was on the way.
We did. We drove right by it. It was fun to drive through Darby and Hamilton and those towns again. I really wanted to stop at the candy shop in Darby, but we didn't do it. Now I regret it.
Was there many people running around Darby this time of year?
Nope, it seemed to be pretty dead. It was also very dead where we were in Idaho. So I don't know where everybody is, but they're not in those places.
Well, good. Well, congratulations. I'm sure everybody else would agree with that.
Thank you.
Let me pull up. Try to remember how to do this again. So, there's a couple things. One of the things I wanted to talk about, and I'll pull up the stat here, but I want to thank everybody. Again, it's the end of the year. I want to thank all of our subscribers. And an interesting fact that I pulled up, and I'm going to show you guys this. If all of our subscribers here were a city in Montana, we would be the fourth biggest city in Montana, which is pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
Here it is. Let me see. There we go.
There we go.
There it is. See, we have 53,400 and some subscribers. So there we are. We just passed Bozeman. We need to get past 3 more towns, and we will be the biggest city in Montana. So all of you out there, if you would do us a favor, it would be awesome if you tell all your friends about our channel and see if we can become the biggest city in Montana. That'd be kind of cool.
Bragging rights.
Yeah, exactly. So the other thing we want to talk about is we touched on it on a different live video, but one of the former Congress people in Montana started a petition to cap the property taxes here in Montana. The way it works right now is in Montana, you can they reassess the property taxes every 2 years. And so what this guy's doing with this petition, he's trying to get it on the ballot next year, is make it so it caps it. It only can go up 1% of its 2019 assessed value once it's sold, and they just changed a little bit of the verbiage to be primary residences. So anybody that's an investor or just looking to make a bunch of money up here, that won't apply. It's to help out us locals that live here, kind of keep it so we don't get hammered on our taxes, because as you all know, if you've been watching, our prices have been going up quite a bit, and it's just, it could get pretty spendy for some people right now. So that is the deal. Do you have any comment, Hillary?
Excuse me. I don't think I do really at this point. I think that's obviously a good thing.
Yeah, I can't imagine that's not going to pass if it gets
Yeah.
on the ballot next year. So,
I mean, even just for our house, we just had someone come out to do an updated assessment, and this wasn't for our taxes. It's because we're trying to add an apartment dwelling above our garage in the backyard. But oh man, our house has gone way up in value since we bought it. And so I'm very happy that the taxes have not changed at this point.
yeah, we were just talking, we were meeting with some people before this live, and we were talking about, just figuring out, and again, another thing we've touched on is how to employee housing and finding housing for people that's affordable. And it's kind of a big issue right now, especially in our area. So,
Yeah, it's a huge issue.
yep. There's a question here. Do you think it's an okay? Let me find this out. Do you think it's an okay time to buy a home in the Flathead Valley, and how do locals feel about newcomers? Well, I think the locals they're kind of getting used to what's going on. I like I tell everybody, if you just try and fit in here and not change everything, you'll get along just fine. I mean, I think people realize that a lot of people want to be here. Um, what I find funny, and Hillary may agree or not, but the people that complain the most are the ones that just moved here about a year ago.
Exactly. I was going to say, most people here are people just like all of you who have come from somewhere else. So I don't know. I think since they got here a couple years sooner, they like to complain, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So let's see, Hector, what is the current timeline for building a house after buying land? Well, that will depend on how many people you need to hire to build your house. A lot of the builders, the good builders, are backed up at least a year right now. So, if you're going to build it yourself, obviously you can go a lot quicker, and it'll just, there's a lot of factors that go into that. I can't give you an exact time frame, but
we also have a list if anyone is interested in building in Montana at any point and getting a more detailed, specific answer on that question. We have a list of builders. If anybody's ready to start having those conversations, again, just email us and we'd be happy to send it to you. But the general answer is that they're backed up.
Yep. So let's here's another one. This will be a good one for you. I'm looking forward to hearing just so you guys know, we did not discuss these articles beforehand. We've been kind of busy all day, so this one I'm curious to hear Hillary's.
Is it the one about the bears?
It is the one about the bears. So can you just, what are you seeing on your screen right now, Hillary? Are you seeing what I'm putting up, or is it?
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, our governor is trying to get the grizzlies taken off the endangered species list and opening them up for hunting. And it says there's an estimated 1,100 grizzly bears between here, Glacier National Park, down to the southern end of the Bob Marshall Wilderness and over to the Blackfeet Reservation on the east side. And that's the biggest population of grizzlies since 1975. So let's go to Hillary and get your thoughts on that.
My initial reaction is no, don't hunt them. I love them. I'm not anti-hunting. I've got a lot of hunters in my family. My grandpa, I actually just found out, has been to Montana and killed a grizzly.
Well, then he did that illegally.
Well, no, he got a permit for it.
Well,
This was a while ago.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't want them to be hunted. I love them. Didn't it say that they were going to, instead of taking them off or delisting them completely, they were going to, I can't remember what the exact language was, but it seemed like it was sort of an in-between, maybe. Do you know what I'm talking about? Let me see if I can find the...
Steve says if there's 111,000 grizzlies, that might be different. It's funny, and I'm kind of on the fence. I can see both sides of the argument. I have noticed, though, that since I've lived here over 20 years now, and when we first moved here, I never saw one. In the last few years, I've seen quite a few. So the population of grizzlies are definitely going up.
But again, that's good.
Well, yeah. It's good until you run into one out in the woods that, you get in between the mother and her cub, then it's probably not so good for you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, grizzly bears are awesome. There's no question. Is 1,100 enough to start hunting them? I don't know. But here's
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know enough about this. I won't pretend like I know. I read that article and my thought was, I'm not really sure how I should feel about this because I'm not an expert, but just initially because I have a deep love for bears.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's going to be an argument no matter if there's, like I think it was Steve said earlier, whether there's 111,000 or 1,100. So I'm sure it'll be an interesting thing to watch as we move along. So if we want to hit on another controversial topic, let's get over here and get this other article up. I don't know if all of you guys are aware or not, but the last election they legalized marijuana, and so they have they're implementing everything, and then as on January 1st they can start selling it in stores in the different towns. That the way I understand it is if your city okayed it, you didn't have to okay it as a city, but a lot of cities did, and if they did, then they can tax it and everything they want to do with it and make the money off of it. So I guess we're joining Colorado and some other states now as far as having legalized marijuana. The one thing I did find interesting is that Whitefish allowed it right in Main Street. They'll be able to sell it, so that'll be an interesting new change here in Montana.
Yeah.
And your thoughts?
I don't know. I'll just be interested to see how it all plays out. I have a lot of friends that live in Denver, and I remember them talking about it and just saying that it was very annoying. Like, we're not annoying, just weird to be walking down the street and just like smelling it all the time. And so I don't know how that all plays into it. Like, I'm sure there are designated areas where you can do it, just like they have open container laws and all that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't mind if they sell it on Central Ave.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Whitefish itself is kind of a party town already. This isn't going to help anything.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not a fan of it, but apparently there's a lot more people that were, and that's why it got voted in. So, Patty here says, do you think Montana will tip liberal with all the incoming Californians? Legal marijuana is a slippery slope. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. There's, again, arguments on both sides. I wasn't for it, but I don't know. I think the problem that, here's another quote by Patty. The problem is, like everything, they pass this law, but yet they haven't, they're always way behind in how to, make the rules for it and how to make it better. I mean, it's always like they're fighting from behind with everything. And again, if you guys ever watched the video I did on the government here in Montana, you'll know that the legislature only meets once every 2 years. So things don't happen in a quick way. And I'm afraid that's what's going to happen here is they've passed this law and we're going to find out a whole bunch of bad things that should have been in the rules, but they haven't had a chance to do anything yet. So we'll have to wait for 2 years to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my take on it. Yeah. I don't know. Again, another controversial topic that, people will argue it on both sides. So let's go to some of the questions here. Do you have any startups in Montana who moved in COVID time? I know in Bozeman, they've got quite a few with the college down there, and Bozeman's kind of the fastest growing city in the state right now and the most expensive city in the state, and the most people from California moving there. So, yeah, if you're looking for startups, that is where you will find it. Here's another comment back to the Grizzlies. Grizzlies make Montana unique, so do the Bison Moose. Don't let them change that. Yeah, I agree. I guess the question just comes down to what the number of Grizzlies is before it wouldn't be, wiping them out.
There was a good question, a couple above that one from Ricardo about vacation recommendations for someone who's trying to get a feel for Montana but doesn't ski or snowboard.
Okay.
And Will, you just did a video about this, about all the stuff to do in the winter.
I know, and a lot of it was skiing and snowboarding.
Well, yeah, I feel like there actually is a lot more to do in the winter, though. I mean, we snowshoe. You can, I guess this is still kind of skiing, but like cross country skiing, it's different, it's fun. If you're here during like the holidays, it's even just really fun to drive around to Whitefish and Big Fork, which is like Christmas town, and just look at all the decorations and lights. And there's lots of like festive stuff going on during the holidays. For New Year's, even if you don't ski, up at the mountain resort, they have like fireworks and a torch parade where skiers all go down the mountain holding torches, and it just looks really cool. But yeah, I feel like there's more to do than just skiing and snowboarding. I feel like I know a lot of people who do neither, like Will.
Well, yeah, I play hockey. I stay inside. Um, there,
You
I'm
can
sorry.
do dog sled rides, which I've always wanted to do.
Well, and what you guys just did, you didn't have to go to Idaho to go to hot springs. There are plenty of hot springs around around Montana. So that's another fun thing to do. And then did they uh well, I mean, they didn't Ricardo didn't specifically say winter. He did mention skiing and snowboarding, but obviously in the summer there's a million other things to do around the state. So yeah, I think hopefully that answered your question. Um, let's see. I see Maria's on here. Hello, Maria. If you guys like the thumbnail, that was I was given that picture by Maria, so thank you for that. It's an awesome spot. Here we go. This one's up my alley. Are ice rinks popular in Montana? Not as popular as they should be. But if you do watch the video I put out last week, I put a map up of all the ice rinks around the state, and it includes the indoor and outdoor ones. So, yeah, there are quite a few, and they're becoming more and more popular as hockey becomes more and more popular.
I feel like hockey is very popular here.
It is here. Yep, it is. And it's not Minnesota popular, but you'd think being so close to Canada, it would be bigger than it is here, but it's getting bigger every year. In fact, when I first got here, there were 3 adult leagues, A, B, and C league. Now there's 5, and there's, 4 teams of 12 people in each league, so it's a lot of people playing hockey, so it's fun. Good group of people. Um, so yeah, let's go to Steve. I'm primarily attracted to Northwest Montana, Flathead County, or north or west. However, I recently looked at Cascade. What are your thoughts for this area? That is south of Great Falls. Over in that area, I just mapped it here, and right on the interstate between Great Falls and Butte, here, towards Helena. Nice area. And in fact, areas like that are getting more popular because they're still not as populated. Uh, it is a little colder over there because you're on the other side of the mountains, but um, kind of a nice area. Let's see. What kind of businesses are needed in Montana? Well, with all the new people coming in, any type of service business, restaurants, I mean, there's you name it. I have an echo. Let's see if I can fix
You
it.
know, it's funny that you say that because before we went live, he was telling me that my sound was horrible.
Oh, maybe I have an echo because of your room.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is. Um, let me see. I'll try it without. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you and I do not have any feedback.
Oh, somebody's saying I still have it. I can actually hear it echoing when I talk. So, well, here then, Hillary, I'll let you do most of the talking. I'll put up the questions for you. Here's one.
I don't know if we have any Olympic swimming pools. We do have the gym in Whitefish is called the Wave, and they do have a swimming pool. It's a big pool. I'm not sure exactly what the size is, but I've swam there before. I think that we have It's hard. Service industry jobs are kind of what the deal is here. There was another question asking about people moving here and working remotely, and I think that we are seeing a lot more of that. If you are somebody coming who, wants to work in a startup, or if you're like me and you came from a marketing or an advertising background or something like that, it is a lot harder to find a job. But we do have a lot of service jobs.
Yeah. Someone's saying it isn't horrible now, so I can
That's
chime
good.
in. You don't want to be the star of the show.
I get nervous.
Oh, it's Maria. Is there any public outside lake skating? Actually, in Kalispell, Maria, there's a little pond right next to the outdoor hockey rink. It's at Woodland Park. You can skate there. I would be careful on lakes around here because unless you go up high, like in Marion to Bitterroot Lake, um, the ice isn't, it doesn't get cold enough to every winter to skate. So
Yeah, I have, like, last winter, Whitefish Lake froze, and there were people cross country skiing and walking around out there, and that doesn't happen very often. But I have seen a lot of people ice skating on Avalanche Lake in Glacier, and now I have to do that. I don't know how you can determine whether or not the ice is thick enough, but I gotta figure it out.
all right. Hey, deep fried cherry pie again. That's the greatest name ever. And thank you for your donation. That is awesome. We very much appreciate that. As far as during the Browns games, I'm sorry about that. This is all Hillary's fault. If you heard earlier, we were rescheduling to, help her.
Accommodate my engagement.
Yeah, she had to go and get engaged. So I'm sure all of the single guys out there in internet world are bummed out, but that's why we're doing a Monday night. And so there you go. Sorry about that. Your real question, do you help clients with apartments as well as homes? Um, Here's the thing. I'll say this to everybody. I would be happy to help. The problem in Montana, I've said this before, there's no central location for rentals. Um, and there's another job idea for somebody moving here. To find a rental, you have to Google, let's say Kalispell rentals, and then 10 companies will come up. And you have to go to each website and see, because they all manage different properties, and you have to go through it that way. And it's a big pain in the butt. But unfortunately, that's what it is here. So if you are going to move out here, I would get on that sooner rather than later, and find out, what's available, because it seems like recently uh, it's almost harder to find a rental around here than it is a house. So get
Yeah.
on.
And every once in a while, we'll, get information from other agents in our office, that have a rental, or client that has a rental opening up. And so we can hear about things that way sometimes before they get on the internet. But for the most part, we don't have any more information that you do. It's just looking all over.
Here's a very interesting question from Dylan. Does buying land on a reservation differ? Can you obtain water rights and mineral rights on a reservation? Here's what I found out, because just south of us down in Polson is on the Flathead Reservation. And there in like 1910, they allowed non-tribe members to be able to purchase land on the reservation. What I don't know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know. I can call the title company and find out the water rights and the mineral rights. It's such a weird deal, because technically they're their own country, and it's so I don't know the answer to that, but that's a great question, and I will look into that further. But I do know that yes, you are allowed to buy on the reservation, and that is how it works from what the title company has told me. So let's see. How do I find rent for a year if I'm an Uber driver outside of state? I have no proof of income in Montana. You know what? That's something you'd have to work out with the landlord and see what you can work out. This one's for you, Hillary.
Thank you.
That's Maria. Maria, you still have not met them, but they were the ones that bought down in Condon, and she was the one that gave me the picture for a thumbnail. So there you go. Josh, how is the local government when it comes to opening a new business? Are they welcoming or difficult to work with? You know, that's going to depend on the different towns. Some towns are a little easier than others. I know here in Whitefish, it can be a pain in the butt, but other towns aren't as bad. So I would just check into wherever you're looking to move or start a business and go from there. If you want to email us and tell me more specifically where you're looking, I can definitely dig into that for you. So there we go. Let's see. You kind of hit on the different news articles I had. Do you have anything else you'd like to add, Hillary?
I thought you had some more articles that you sent me, but I can't think of anything else to add. If anybody else has any questions or anything, thank you guys for saying congratulations. I'm reading them.
And Celeste, yeah, Robin is great. And just for everybody, if you're not, if you're looking anywhere in Montana, we have agents that we work with all over the state, and we set you up with only the good ones.
Celeste! Oh my gosh, I'm very happy that worked out. I've been checking in with Robin. Actually, I haven't heard what your status is, but that's so good to hear. Yay!
Yeah, so there you go. Let's see. Montana Deb, we look at one another and we wave to strangers even when we drive. We know out-of-staters who live in their own little world don't notice other drivers or their neighbors. Yeah, it comes down to, the person themselves. There's good people and bad people everywhere. And I don't know why that banner just popped up.
I was just gonna say.
We already covered the weed discussion. So, but yeah, like we were saying earlier, if we're trying to become the biggest city in Montana, with our subscribers right now, we're number 4. So we would appreciate it if you'd pass on our channel to others and make us the top city in Montana. All right. Well, I think we've pretty much hit everything. Thanks again to our friend in Ohio, Deep Fried Cherry Pie, for your donation. That is awesome. And congratulations to Hillary.
Thank you.
Happy holidays to everyone. And we will be back in the new year. Thanks, everybody, for joining in this year. And we look forward to doing these more often in the new year.
Yeah.
So we're going to sign off, and everybody have a good night. And whoever's
Merry
watching
Christmas.
football, go watch football. We'll be back to Sundays in the new year. See you later.